It's getting kinda silly with the Boston Celtics. We're 3/4 of the way through the regular season, and they appear to be getting stronger and stronger with every game. So can this be the answer to the question? Are the Boston Celtics on pace to win the NBA championship? Let's find out, shall we? High streak. Boston sits at an NBA best 48, 12 on the season, and is currently riding an 11-game win streak. They've been respectfully toying with the opposition as of late, racking up not just a handful of double-digit wins, but utterly embarrassing the opposition. Statement wins have been followed by even bigger statement wins. The message remains the same, though. These Celtics are the best team in the NBA. For most of the season, everyone else has failed to do so. The Boston Celtics' current streak started with a 40-point win over the Memphis Grizzlies back on February 4th. It continued Sunday with a 52-point lambasting of the Golden State Warriors, the third biggest win in Boston franchise history. Wins 2, 5 during the streak were by single digits, a pair of 8-point wins and a pair of 4-point wins. But the rest have shown varying degrees of dominance by the Boston Celtics. They have won each of the last 6 games by at least 14 points, and 2 of those contests have been decided by 50 points. A 136-86 beatdown of the Nets, and Sunday's 140-88 drubbing of the Warriors. Boston's average margin of victory over the last 6 games is a ridiculous 29.8 points. The Celtics have beaten playoff teams on the road, with wins in Miami and New York. The Mavericks and the Warriors each came to town on their own, albeit less impressive hot streaks, and the Boston Celtics completely demoralized both of them. The Boston Celtics own a plus 243 differential over their 11-game winning streak, which is the largest point differential over any 11-game stretch in NBA history. It's a miracle teams even bother showing up against the Celtics lately. The Boston Celtics have been incredibly efficient during the streak, with a true shooting percentage of 66% over the last 11 games. That has been the case all season, as Boston leads the NBA with 61% for the season. That is just one of the truly ludicrous numbers that the Boston Celtics are putting up this year. The Celtics own the NBA's best offensive rating at 121.7, 1.6 points better than the second-place Pacers, and have the second-best defensive rating at 110.2, trailing only the Timberwolves and their 108.0 defensive rating. Boston's plus 11.6 net rating sits above everyone else in the league, 3.6 points better than the Oklahoma City Thunder, who sit at a plus 8. With 48 wins heading into Tuesday night's game in Cleveland, Boston is on pace for 66 wins this season. The Boston Celtics haven't eclipsed 60 wins since 2008-09, when the team won 62 games, and the last time a C's team won 66 games was the year prior when the Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen Celtics brought home banner 17. The success or failure of the 2023-24 Boston Celtics will ultimately come down to whether or not they add their banner to the collection at TD Garden. That has been the case since the offseason shakeup started with trading Marcus Smart for Porzingis, and owner White Grausbeck echoed that sentiment ahead of Sunday's blowout. The pressure to win it all will only ramp up as the march to the playoffs and all this winning continues. But with a cohesive group that is locked in defensively and knocking down shots on offense, the Boston Celtics are playing at a level we've rarely seen in the NBA. At this point, it doesn't look like anything can slow them down. Moving on, which of the players are setting fire to the court? The best players. Jayson Tatum has been silly good throughout the run, averaging 28 points off 51, 38, 91 shooting splits. He scored 30-plus points 4 times, including a 41-point game against the Nets, to go with 8.5 rebounds and 6.5 assists per game. He has 4 double-doubles during the streak and 6 games with at least 7 assists. And none of that touches on his defense, which remains the most underrated aspect of Tatum's game. On Monday, Tatum took home Eastern Conference Player of the Month honors, and he was not alone in receiving some league-wide accolades. Jaylen Brown claimed his 4th career Eastern Conference Player of the Week award after averaging 28.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.0 assists, while leading the Celtics to wins over Philadelphia, Dallas, and Golden State. Brown, the guy that the Warriors decided to leave open on Sunday, shot 65% from the floor and 43% from downtown over that 3-game stretch. If the Celtics were only Tatum and Brown, teams may have stood a chance over the last month. But Brad Stevens has built one of the deepest rosters in the NBA, with Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, and Derrick White keeping everyone on the floor honest. Each of those 4 has sacrificed their individual numbers this season, as have Tatum and Brown. But that just makes the squad all the more dangerous as a whole. For context, Porzingis is averaging 20.3 points, 6.9 rebounds, 1.9 3.9 assists, and 1.8 blocks in 44 games, all starts, this season. He is in his first campaign with Boston after being acquired from the Washington Wizards via trade in June. He has averages of 19.7 points, 7.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1.8 blocks in 446 career games with the New York Knicks, Dallas Mavericks, Wizards, and the Boston Celtics. He was selected by New York with the 4th overall pick in the 2015 NBA Draft. Now, no one could have predicted Derrick White's emergence as an all-star caliber player when the Boston Celtics traded for him just over 2 years ago at the cost of Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a 2022 first-round pick, which would be used to select Blake Wesley. The San Antonio Spurs sent Boston a player that would, unbeknownst to them, become a key piece of the puzzle to an already loaded roster. Now into his 3rd season with the Celtics, White has found his role, succeeding as a great two-way player who can consistently make stops on defense and score the ball with ease. Despite making statistical leaps each year with the Celtics, White finally put the league on notice this season, coming up just shy of his first All-Star nod with a career-best stat line of 15.5 points, 4.8 assists, 4 rebounds, 1.2 blocks, and a steal per game. It seems crazy that it's already been 2 years, White told NBC Sports Boston's Abby Chin before a tip-off against the Miami Heat last month. A lot has changed for me personally, on the court and off the court, all great things. It's been great being a part of the Boston culture and being one with Boston. I love it here. Less than a year ago, White saved the Celtics in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heat. After going down 3-0 in the series, the higher-seeded Celtics had a chance to force a Game 7. With 3 seconds left on the clock, White inbounded the ball to Smart, who immediately put up a 3-point shot. White, who has been known to have an incredible basketball IQ, had already crashed the boards off the inbound, caught the rebound in the air, and put it back in the net as time expired to win the game. The first time we played here in Miami a couple weeks ago, I definitely thought about it, White said of the putback play. I don't really watch the play that much unless it pops up on something, but definitely a special moment and something I'll always have and think about when I come here. Sure, Derrick White is amazing, of course. We know this, and we've known this for a while, even before Brad Stevens altered the roster and chemistry in all the right ways in the offseason. The same is true of Jrue Holiday, and I wouldn't say it has gone unnoticed per se, but the sacrifices and adjustments he has made to fit in with the Boston Celtics warrant a salute. He is a 5-time All-Defensive selection, a 2-time All-Star, and the lone player on this roster who has earned a championship ring, which he achieved as the second-best player on the 2020-21 Bucks. And yet, for all that he has accomplished, he has come to Boston and carried himself like an unassuming role player, here to do whatever is best for the team in a given situation. He is a more talented Marcus Smart, with more conscience and less chaos. And though his role, skill set, and demeanor are different, his first approach is somewhat reminiscent of what James Posey brought to the collectors of the 17th banner 16 years ago. The Boston Celtics' 118-112 victory over the Pelicans in January offered a good example of Holiday's adaptability in the pursuit of victory. Although other players played crucial roles, it was Holiday who picked up the offensive slack in the middle frames, scoring 8 points in the second quarter and another 12 in the third, when the Celtics' intensity ratcheted up another notch. He also often had the unenviable task of playing the obstruction to Zion Williamson's wrecking ball, and at the least contributed to wearing out the super talented but not always serious big fella. Having said that, with this kind of track record and such talented players, there is a high chance that the next NBA champions are the Boston Celtics. And that's it for this video. Please click the like and subscribe buttons down below if you found it useful. To make sure you don't miss any uploads, tap the bell icon, share the video, and comment down your thoughts. See you in the next one.